Hi, it's Chris. Welcome to episode 1 of the Kriscast on this day of July the 1st, the second half of the year. That's insane. Today I wanted to talk about a thing that happened to me early this year when the ICE protests were happening, like all the high, high school protests were going on, right? So it says, reads off like this. He texts me like this. Keep in mind, we're both high schoolers, but this guy, it's a white nationalist Christian that's texting me this, right? So he says, and the first thing that ticked me off about this was he used AAVE. If you don't know what this is, that's African American Vernacular English, which they claim isn't real, but used on the daily when texting. That's just a little tidbit. Let's read it. It says, he says, dog. Name one person that has been deported. This doesn't even involve you. No, he didn't. He didn't say doesn't. He says don't. This don't even involve you, right? Skipping school for nothing, right? If they illegally entered, then they don't belong here. Sorry, buddy. Your one voice isn't gonna change the right thing. Don't be a hero for the wrong side, man. God bless. And I said in response, right? This is at 6:32 in the morning because he texted me this like really early because this was the day of the protest. And I said, if innocent people are being taken from their homes by power trip and authority, then it'll always involve me. United we stand and divided we fall. Ben Franklin, right? And then he says this in response, dog. Name one innocent person that was taken. Laughing face emoji. You're full of lies that are so good, even you convince yourself to believe them without evidence. Gold face emoji. And then he says, if you're this, I say, if you're this offended, stop texting me, right? And then I look through his follower, right? And I find he's following both Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. And so I'm already knowing what it is, right? I feel as if that is extremely problematic. One, he's talking to me like I don't know what I'm doing, right? One, I know what I'm doing. Two, why are you speaking to me in the first place? And why are you speaking to me in AAVE? That's not even your dialect. Like, you like, what are you talking about? Nothing? Yo, you literally live in a two-story house. You already had a car the day you turned 16. There's no level of privilege you have not reached, especially one to be using AAV. That's what ticked me off. Two, the fact that he said, God bless within that message. A lot of the times when we talk about God, we end up talking about doing good things for people. So why would you use God's name to really, and I mean like really enforce the fact that because they're not from here, they don't belong here? God was an immigrant himself. Not God, but Jesus. Jesus was an immigrant, right? I feel like that's a problem. I feel like a lot of times you guys don't read. I feel like a lot of times, especially when it comes to like white nationalist Christians, they see a white God because they see God in themselves. And because they see God as this all-powerful deity, to be all-powerful as well, they painted him white, right? So when they see God, they see themselves. And if they see themselves in God, they're going to treat themselves as God. They're going to force other people down to their will. That's a problem. That's a major problem with me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I feel like that's really problematic. And I feel like, especially if you come from that much privilege, you should be more like a suffragette, like actually wanting to do good things. Like, and don't get me wrong, don't get me started on suffragettes, bro. Bro, the suffragettes did not care about anybody but themselves. Yeah, we want white women to be able to vote, not women, just white women. She wanted the truth, wanted the right to vote for all women, right, and for black men as well. So that's another thing. I feel like a lot of the times, especially when it comes to recent history, it's that like as soon as Trump got into office, people started to be more brash about their opinion. Like Literally, I can scroll on TikTok and watch a white man call somebody else newborn. Same thing will happen to the builder. Like it's literally it's repetitive, and it's getting to the point where even state courts protect them. The Rick Chow case with Cyrus Cormac Belton, who Rick Chow shot, right? No one said it was self defense. Like no, that kid didn't pull a gun on him. How do you pull how do you pull out a gun and then get shot in the back? You feel me? No, like he shot the kid because he wanted to shoot that kid, and he shot him over a water bottle he didn't steal, right? Okay, so that's one. Two, if you don't fight back, like no, if you do fight back, you end up turning into you turn Carmelo Anthony, and I feel like this is a problem too. Like this has happened to me multiple times. I've had like I feel like the fact is that people aren't educated, especially when it comes to like people that are my skin color. Like y'all are not educated. That's the problem. Like the fact that you can sit here and tell me, well, Carmelo Anthony, like he stabbed that kid though. Carmelo Anthony was gained up by a group of white teenagers. Plus, he gave them a warning to get away from him. So, what do you want me to do in that situation? If it was you, what would you do? What are you gonna get on your knees and beg and plead for Massa? No, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm for sure not gonna do that. Why would I do that? That's the problem. I feel like the problem is a lot of y'all, especially when it comes to like people who are, and I'm not gonna say like Christian. I'm gonna point on a very like specific part of Christianity. When it comes to people who are privileged, upper middle class Christian, a lot of the times I see a lot of like values get thrown out of the window. And that's the problem. Because how can you sit here and tell me that you go to church every Sunday, right? But when it comes time to stand up for people who are being ripped out of their homes and out of their jobs, you tell me it's not my problem to worry about. You're gonna sit here and tell me that my voice isn't gonna change anything. That I shouldn't be a hero for the wrong side. What is the wrong side? That's my question. Is it the side that goes against white nationalism? That's the good side. I mean, what do you want me to say, man? What do you want me to say? Right? You want me to sit here and just let you take people that look like me? I hope you know there's people that look just like me that are illegal immigrants. So you want me to just let you take people? No. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna just sit here and allow that to happen. Like it's the same people that can post a Bible verse when it comes to posting people who are being massacred in Lebanon, massacred in Syria, massacred in Gaza, massacred in Congo, massacred in Sudan. Nobody cares. Oh, that's not my area of expertise. And educate yourself. How hard is it to educate yourself? It's not. It's never been hard to educate yourself. Never. Books exist. Videos exist. Documentaries exist. I watched this documentary, right? It was let me see if I can find the title for you guys, because it was a good documentary, and I watched it, and I thought to myself, hey, like, are they really serious? Oh, it's called Exposing the Myth of Southern Charm. This came out last month, by the way, right? Last month. And I think it goes into like the gall that people have. Because when it doesn't affect them, it's okay. Like, literally, I watched this lady, right? And it was her, and like, it's this town called Natchez. And I think it's Natchez, Mississippi, right? So, in this town, like, everybody is cool and stuff, but it goes into like how slaves built their houses, like how slaves built their empires. And that was the craziest part to me. Because what do you mean? And then, like, the slaves get no credit. Oh, we built this. I feel like a lot of the times people end up profiting. I'm not gonna say people. I'm gonna say like I'm gonna call it out this. I feel like a lot of times white people, oppressors, end up like they end up colonizing. I don't even know how they do this. They end up like colonizing and gentrifying words to make their oppression sound less harsh on the people that they oppressed. Instead of calling them slaves like they were, they're called help, servants. No, no, no. They didn't do this because they wanted to live here. No, no, no. You forced them to. They had to watch. They had to walk 900 miles from Virginia to to the Four Forks, Natchez, to be sold off, and they would die on that 900-mile walk. You telling me like that's it? Like you don't care? And there was this guy. His name was David, and it was like I watched him, and like eventually, like at the very beginning, I felt bad for him because, like, hey, like he's going around like he's supporting the gay community. Like maybe he's not that bad, you know. Then he ended the documentary. Like I'm literally watching him just call everybody hard R's, like it's nobody's business, and he felt empowered to say it because hey, like he was surrounded by a bunch of white people. He wouldn't have said that if like a black woman was around, especially a black woman. Oh my gosh, but he wouldn't have said that. So I feel like it goes down. Like I feel like a lot of times when it comes to people like sending you messages like that, sending me messages like that, it comes to the fact that they feel emboldened because of who's in office. They feel emboldened because of who the principal is. They feel emboldened because of the town they're in. They feel emboldened because of the privilege that they have. I don't give a rat's ass about your privilege. I don't care. I don't care at all. Bottom line, fine print. That's it. Big bold letters. Maybe I italicize it so it can be shoved down your mouth easier. I don't care. I don't care about your privilege. I've never cared. I'm not gonna sit by and stand idle, right, while you're taking people out of their homes. Literally, I spoke on the news about it. I spoke on Instagram about it. I'm still speaking about it on Instagram. I don't care. I don't care about your privilege. I don't care about any of that. Literally, because of the fact that, hey, like, yo, you people sit around and, like, you're letting this happen. Well, like actually, that's the point that really makes me angry. Because it's God bless because you know you're wrong. God won't bless you. He won't bless you. Matter of fact, you're going to be in the same fires of hell that you cast gay people into for expressing themselves. That's where you're gonna be. That's where you're gonna be. Yeah. And I genuinely wonder how people can go to bed at night saying, hey, my parents voted for Trump, knowing that they voted for financial ruin. A lot of the times I see Trump say, hey, like, we're so tired of winning. What are we winning? Are we winning data centers that steal our water, right? Are we winning extra homelessness because people can't afford housing? Are we winning going hungry at night because people can't afford food, right? Are we winning walking to our jobs because gas prices are too high, right? Are we winning not being able to get an abortion even if it saves our life because we overturned Roe v. Wade? Yeah, yeah. Are we winning not being able to eat food because of SNAP benefits being cut? Okay. Are we winning not being able to get free healthcare because Medicaid? Yeah. Okay. What are we winning, right? What are we winning? Are we winning government funds being embezzled, being embezzled out of the government? How does Christy Noam have a $250 million commercial? For what? To get reelected? I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works. I feel like, and a lot of the time what makes me mad is just like people try to make this a Democrat Republican thing. No. This is a humanitarian aid thing. How are you going to sit here and let people die and you're a Christian? You're going to preach love in church. Love your neighbor. But if he looks like you, come on, man. That's not how that works. Like, that doesn't sit right with me as a person. I don't like that. Love your neighbor if he looks like you. No, bro. No. Like, that's deplorable. The fact that you could sit here and say something like that is deplorable. That's insane. Love your neighbor if he looks like you. Love your neighbor if he's heterosexual, right? Okay. Love your neighbor if he's a white man. A white man. Right? Okay. Love your neighbor if he's Republican. I mean, okay, okay. The neighbor if he has blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay, I guess. I feel like that's the problem. I feel like a lot of times you guys end up looking for the littlest things. Like you guys say you hate diversity, but diversity is what makes it peaceful. Like you're telling me you can go into your garden, right, and appreciate all the different birds and the bees and the trees and the plants and the flowers. But when you see a mixed group of people, like people that are Asian, people that are Latino, people that are Indian, right, people that are, South American, you look at that with fear and disgust. But you can appreciate your garden. It's the same thing, different fonts, right? I feel like a lot of the times that, we just sit here and we really don't appreciate what we have. And that's the problem. Like, it comes from a place of privilege. And that's what it goes back to. Like what I was saying, like literally it just goes back to white nationalism. Thinking because I am white and my God is white, that I am God. And nobody else comes close. That's what it is. That's what it's thinking. I am God. I am better than you. My God looks like me. I must be God. You must worship me. That's what it goes. That's literally what it boils down to, right? And I'm not saying hey, oh, I'm Democratic because of my views. Bro, the Democratic Party sucks, bro. Like they actually suck. The Republican Party sucks too. Why don't you vote for people that are gonna help save your country, right? Why don't you vote for people that aren't funded by Israel? Why don't you vote for people who aren't lobbyists, right? How about that? Instead of voting for people because you think they're gonna be better. Literally, I could call it like 5 politicians right now, and you would probably be surprised that they fund Israel, that they love Israel. It's insane, right? It's insane. No, it's not insane. Like you just didn't read. You didn't read about it. You didn't read about it. I feel like that's insane. Like the fact that I can sit here and I can have more morality. I can have a heavier heart than the average Christian is actually like mind boggling to me. That's actually insane. Because you think that they don't deserve to be here because they don't look like you. You want to talk about illegal immigrants? Let's talk about illegal immigrants, right? Christopher Columbus is an illegal immigrant. Yeah, he's an illegal immigrant. Right. People that came to Jamestown, illegal immigrants, right? Right. And I'm trying to say, oh, nobody can be an illegal immigrant on land that nobody claimed. No. People lived here. Cahokia, they lived here, but they were wiped out. You don't know by who? By the Europeans that came here, by Christopher Columbus and them. Yeah. So there are people here already. That's just how it is. There are people here already, right? And that's the problem. You guys don't read. You guys don't read, but you have the gall to get on here and tell people what not to do. You don't read. You don't read at all. You don't read, but you can tell me what to do. You don't read, right? You don't read. You don't read, but you let this guy know that he doesn't belong here because of his skin color. One, you don't know these people. Two, these are people that are working here, working actively to get their citizenship papers and to get the green cards. Like it's not like they're just here for fun. No, they're not here for fun. Three, I see a lot of people end up talking about statistics, right? So, do you think that Miss Lucia, who cleans up your garbage after B-Lunch, right? Do you think that she's a murderer and a rapist? No? Oh, okay. You think that Mr. Theo, who works on your electric, right? Your electrical wiring in your house, do you think he's a rapist? No, you don't, do you? So when you cherry pick examples, right? When you get like 50 bad people out of a good 10,000 that are doing terrible things, and you want them to be the highlighters, the highlights that you put as the portion why we must deport all illegal immigrants. You realize that's a small percentage of the population, right? It always comes back to statistics. Like people end up talking about statistics on why, what was it, 13% of the population, 50% of the crime. That's not real. No. And in a world when that is real, right? Let me know, right? And this is just my 2 cents in the matter again. In a world where that's real, you realize that black people are so systematically oppressed to the point where they have nothing. I know so many people who were living better on government benefits than they were without them. And that's when they had a stable job. You realize that, right? So you've dug black people into a hole so large that it's better to stay in it than actively crawl out of it. And that goes back to privilege. You've never eaten a syrup sandwich in your life, sir. You didn't eat ramen noodles every day after school, did you? No. No, you didn't. You have never had to choose between two Lego sets that are both under $20, did you? No, 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 you didn't, right? You did not, right? You have PlayStation Plus. You live in a two-story house, right? You have both parents in the picture. Not everybody has that. You realize that, right? It goes back to privilege. Like y'all, it's like y'all don't care. You don't think about other people when you say these things. Like these people are dying in detention cells away from their families because ICE ripped those families apart. People are dying on the streets because they decided to protest ICE. And you want to know one thing? I haven't seen many ICE protests lately. I haven't seen much uproar about the Epstein files lately. That's a problem. I haven't seen much uproar about Gaza, about Lebanon, about Syria, about Congo, about Sudan. I haven't seen much uproar. Literally, they dropped the second largest non-nuclear bomb on Lebanon. Israel did that, but you support them, right? Because the president said support them, so you're gonna do it anyways. That's what you listen to, right? That's a problem. That's a problem to me. That's a problem. The fact that you could actively support something like that, knowing the repercussions that are hitting other families, is insane to me. The fact that you could sit here and tell me that I'm wrong for wanting to use my voice to actively speak out about this is insane, right? The fact that you can say God bless at the end of your message, like God's gonna support you for this, like He won't look down on you for not helping out your fellow man, is insane to me. Are you serious? Your entire life, you come from a place of privilege, and you're going to look at me like I'm insane for wanting to help out people, wanting to actively use my First Amendment rights to protest? That's insane to me. The fact that you could sit here and act like you're better than me because you don't want to support immigrants is insane. These are the same people that are going to farms. They're called migrant workers, by the way. They're going to farms and they're picking your fruits for you to eat on your tables, right? Picking your peaches, picking your strawberries, picking your bananas, right? Your lettuce, your carrots, your potatoes, cleaning them off, getting them to your local HEB, your local Kroger, your local Randall's, whatever, your local Walmart, literally, your local Sprouts. They're getting them to your table, but you don't want to support them. So when you have to go out to the field and pick your own stuff, how about that? Literally, I feel like the only way to actively make people understand the experiences that other people have to go through, especially people who are marginalized and or oppressed, you have to make them understand the experiences by putting them firsthand into the experience. That's what it is. I've had people try to tell me that slavery wasn't that bad. I have had people try to tell me that police brutality isn't a bad thing, right? I've seen tweets of people online saying that this is when Alex Reddy and Renee Good died. They said, "Hey, can we go back to regular police brutality when just black people died?" That's insane. Why would you say that? I've seen so much racism in my current school that I've actually like lost my mind. And the worst part is like you can't do anything about it. You just have to smile and wave. Like the fact that you could sit here from a place of privilege and tell me that I can't help out other oppressed people is insane. That's my this is this is the end of the podcast. End of episode 1 for today. Yeah. Um for the second half of this year, starting on July the 1st, I have some goals set in mind. I'm gonna probably be uploading this to the channel too. One of my main goals is to feed and give clothes to the homeless, right? To volunteer at soup kitchens. Two, I want to do some good things for my neighborhoods, especially marginalized Black communities. Three, I want to do some workshops to end up teaching Black youth how to manage their money, manage their time, etc. All the good stuff. Four, I want to do some more protests this year, right? Exercise the First Amendment. Do it anyways, you know. Um, Five, I just want to be overall a good person. I want to do the right thing. What the Bible actually taught me. That's what I want to do, right? I want to stick up for people. I want to do the right thing when nobody else wants to do. Man, when I tell you, on February 9th, 2026, I walked out that door alone. Hundreds of people in the cafeteria watching. I walked out the door alone. And what? Maybe 2 minutes later, somebody else walked out too. Right. That's what I. That's what I did. It is what it is. You know, I had. Or funniest part is, bro. I had like all these teachers that I know, all these like white teachers especially, bro, they looking at me crazy. Like, they're actually like devastating me, bro. I walk out the doors. I walk out. Right? I have another story, but that's for another time. Anyways, go out, do good things, like grow your community, talk to people, be an overall light to the world. Thank you. This is the end of episode 1.